All right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem, or Chachwadash. Double honor to the apostles, bishops, elders, great millstone, shalom to brothers just pushing this truth across the four winds of the earth. And just a little bit. I'm just gonna probably turn it off actually. Just open the window a little bit. I don't have any. We're gonna see, what the Spirit gives, but I don't have any scriptures and stuff lined up. I just want to talk about a quick talk, that I had with a customer of mine, and she was an older lady, and she was talking about, I forgot how the conversation even started, but she was saying things along of like end time prophecy, and she was talking about the book of Daniel and Revelation, and she was talking about the stuff, she was going off in some of the things that she was talking about, but she was saying, she said she believes, paraphrasing kind of what she said, she's like, she believes that Trump, is going to be the last, pretty much the last guy. She was talking about how she quoted a scripture. She quoted the scripture of when they should say peace and safety, and then I finished it for her. She said when they say peace and safety. I'm pretty sure she was probably quoting from the NLT though. But I was like then sudden destruction come upon them, right? And she was going into, she was saying a lot of interesting things. I just put it like that. Your basic Christian. I don't think she was a Christian. She said she was a Jehovah's Witness or something. She was saying a lot of stuff that the average Christian or average Jehovah's Witness or stuff didn't know. But like I said, she was going off in some things. In the conversation, she was like, "Oh yeah, this world is coming to an end, and you can clearly tell that something's going on with something's going on with the world because we're not supposed to be living like this." And she could tell, she's like, it's just getting worse and worse, and you can tell something's getting ready to happen. And she was going on, she was just talking. I was just sitting there listening, and I was just like, a lot of people don't fully understand that. But here it is that some older lady, and I was asking, I inquired about her lineage because she looked like she was Northern Kingdom, but coming to find out, I thought she was like a little old Hispanic lady. But she said that she couldn't, and I was thinking the whole time that she could be an Israelite, because she said that she's, how these people say that they're mixed. She said she is Irish and Italian, and I tried to figure out on whose side, but she, how when you ask, the people of the world, they're like, oh, I'm 25% this, and my mom was Irish, but her granny, you know how the people get. So I really didn't get what side was who, but I was thinking, she could be an Israelite, this older lady. And just to go back to what she was talking about, she said, yeah, look at the way that the world is. She said, we're not supposed to be living like this. And then she said, God is going to judge these people for doing this. And then she was talking about Satan, I think she was quoting the scripture in Revelation, but she had a misunderstanding because I was asking her, and I was trying to pick her brain a little bit to see what she knew. Because she was like, yeah, Satan's going to be ruling for 1,000 years. I was like, okay. I was like, what happens after the 1,000 years? And stuff like that. And she didn't have no clue. She didn't have no clue. And I was also asking her, before I end up leaving, I was asking her, does she know what the mark of the beast is in Revelation? And she said, it's worshiping Satan. And I was going to just tell her, no, it's wrong. I was going to tell her it's wrong. And then I was going to tell her actually what it is, but I didn't end up going that far into it. And it was just interesting because, you really don't have, especially with the people of the world. A lot of these people don't understand, the scriptures, don't understand, the prophecies and things like that. So the simple fact that, your average Christian don't know nothing about the book of Revelation or Daniel. So the fact that she was, quoting stuff from Daniel and going into Revelation, like, even though I know, like I said, she was going off with some of the things that she was saying, she had some, some type of intelligence, more than your average person. And the simple fact that, that these people are starting to, the people of the world, they're starting to wake up to what's really going on here. Because she was like, Trump is evil and he's doing this and he's doing that and he's doing all this stuff behind closed doors and people don't know about it. And she was like, yeah, this got to be the end. And she was really like, he's got to be the guy to do it. He's gonna be the guy to do it. And that's what I truly believe too. I believe Trump is the last guy. I think Trump is the guy to do it. And I know I've heard Elder Apostle Gabar, and I'm pretty sure the elder apostles have said it too, maybe. But I know for a fact I've heard Elder Apostle Gabar say it, but and Elder Apostle Tahar. And it's just like, you just who else can do what's going on? And she was talking about the bombings and all the other stuff. She said, look at all these other nations. She didn't say nations, she said the countries. She look at all these other countries doing this and doing that. And she was just really going. She was going in, and so she knows that life is not supposed to be like this, and she knows, she feels that Trump's gonna be the last guy to do this and to do that. Bear with me, hold on. I'm gonna turn this on just a little bit. We gotta get some type of air. It's burning up out here. Hopefully, it's not too loud. So she was saying that, and I was thinking, I was like, I was thinking like the whole time listening to her, I was like, she might be an Israelite, man, because you just never know. You just never know who's Jake, and that's why I was asking about her lineage, because I just wanted to know, and she very well could be, because the scriptures do say, which I'm actually going to get this scripture. Dream, it's in Joel, isn't it? Dreams. Yeah, Joel 2, right? And verse 28. And it says, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days I will pour out my spirit. Right? And everybody, right? Nobody is exempt, right, from getting seeing visions and dreams and stuff like that, because there's been plenty of videos that you had, like, the other nations talking about how bad of a dream that they saw America on fire, or they saw destruction, and they saw these things. That's the spirit right here, man. I mean, that's the scripture right here. And she wasn't breaking out, she wasn't really going into prophecy or anything, but that just goes to show you, man, that it's possible for the Lord to give people, anybody, a vision or a dream or something like that about the destruction, about the chaos, about all the stuff that's getting ready to take place. And I was asking her, I was like, so what's gonna be, like, what's the end goal? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? And she was just like, just total chaos and da-da-da. So she was kind of on the right track, loosely. She wasn't all the way there, but she was on the right track. She was like, total chaos, this and that. And I was like, yeah, that is coming. I think it's gonna be a terrible time on the earth. But it was just very interesting, right? The older lady, I was talking to her, and then she tried to give me a car. I'm obviously not going to use it. She talking about you really need to. She was like, you really need to get into a Bible study group. That's what she was saying. You need to get into the Bible study group. So you need to go to one of those things. And she's like, it's all free. It's this. You need to go into the Bible study groups. All right, and that's what she was saying. And she wrote down she gave me her little card and wrote down, information. But I'm not going to use it, obviously, because we don't need to learn from the heathens about your group, about you people breaking down the scriptures wrong, man. Right? But it was, the gesture. She was a nice lady. But that's pretty much all I want to say. It wasn't like meant to be like a lesson or really anything, but I guess it kind of was. Kind of wasn't, kind of was. But I just wanted to really talk about, the interesting conversation I had with the lady. And that's some of the things that she was talking about. And, people are waking up to the fact that something's going on in the world. Something's going on behind closed doors. And then she was also, she loosely said she was talking about the devil and how people's going to be like thrown, like how the devil's going to be cast out and throwing people in prison and stuff. And I was going to ask her, yeah, but Satan's not, a physical being. I'm like, so who is going to be the people that's actually going to be doing that? I was going to ask her that, but I just left it. I just let her talk pretty much. All right, just let her talk. But the people, the masses are understanding. They're understanding. And she said the reason why that she was, the reason why that she became a Jehovah's Witness is because she said that I guess one of them knocked on her door one day and she invited them in and was just asking a whole bunch of questions, and apparently from her, which I know this is folly, she said that all the questions that she was asking, they answered them with the scriptures. And then she said she went back to go fact check them. And she said all of it turned up right. Which I know that's nothing but damn folly. That's nothing but nonsense. Because the Jehovah's Witnesses, anybody, first off, if you're not an Israelite, you don't have the truth. Man, first of all, you serving Jesus and you doing that, you don't have the truth. So I know for a fact that whatever she was talking about, I know they was going off. Talking about, she said, oh yeah, they all had all the answers checked out. And no, they didn't. No, they didn't. But you gotta let people do what they do. But like I was saying, that's all I just want to talk about. It was just very interesting, and I wanted to, bring it up. That she was saying all those things. So she believes herself that Trump, that Trump is the last president, and stuff like that. So she believes that we're in end times. She believes that the kingdom is going to take place on earth and stuff like that. So she was definitely above, the normal understanding, I should say, of half these people. But that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I want to give all praises on